What up, Scribe? So, only you're gonna get this video, obviously, because I'm sending it directly to you. Never gonna obviously, there's no need for me to upload it. I'm sending this to you, bro, because I hear you say a lot of things. Some of them I agree with, some of them I don't. The reason why I don't agree is because I feel like you might have not read a certain part of the scripture or just be forgetting all about it altogether. I'll start with the Assyrian. So we'll go back to Genesis chapter 10 real quick. And then, no, yeah, that's right, chapter 10. And then you will see that I am not trying to pull one over on you. You're going to really be like, damn, I should have read that. So let's start with Sin. The sons of Sin, Elam and Assur and Arphaxad. So clearly the guy that you're talking about dealing with the sons of Ham, out of that land came Assur. Clearly that is the Assur right there, number one. Number two, let's just move forward a little bit. I'm not even going to worry about the Tower of Babylon or the Tower of Confusion just yet. I'll go back to that. We're going to go to where it talks about Abraham being with Keturah. One moment. I'm pretty sure there's 18, 19. Let me see. What's going on? Okay, here we go. Alright. 20. Okay, here we go. 25. Pay very close attention to the wording of everything, brother. Verse 1. And Abram again took a wife, whose name was Keturah, and she bore to him Zimram, and Jazan, and Madal, and Madiam, and Jezbach, and Soye. 1 second, now listen. This is his grandsons. And Jazan begot Saba and Dedan. One moment, his great-grandsons. And the sons of Dedan were the Assyrians, Assurins, and the Letusians, and the Loamim. One moment. Now, when you say that the Assyrians are a Hamitic people, they're a Hamido-Shemitic people by definition. I don't want to get into your comic section, bro, and be doing all this every time. You feel what I'm saying? Like, because once again, I'm not knocking anything you say, bro, but I do a lot of research myself, and my research has been pretty much solely the book of Genesis for the last year almost, primarily. So even though I've jumped around other places, I've really been in the book of Genesis, like heavy. So that's one part, the Assyrians. Let's skip forward, hella forward. We're going to go in verse 17. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. And he failed and died, and was added to his fathers. And he dwelt from Avilat to Sur, which is opposite Egypt, until one comes to the Assyrians. And he dwelt in the presence of all his brethren. Now, if you think I'm tripping, any son of Abraham is his brethren. So if you think I'm tripping, the Assyrians are his brethren, by way of Dedan, by way of what's the young man's name? Jazan. So that's number one. The Assyrians are the Assyrians through Abraham's loins, which is why we don't hear about these guys until like 600 BC or whatever. That's totally besides the point, even though they were around maybe 100 years after Abraham, so they probably came into existence 1700 BC. Still, not the point. Let's jump forward. No, let's jump back, I want to say. When it's Abraham, here we go. Chapter 22. And here we go. This is with Abraham. But we're going to go straight to verse 20. This is about the Syrians, bro. When you say the stuff you be saying, I'm like, has this dude ever read this? Like, and I'm not trying to insult you right now, but I'm like, I really be wondering, like, have you read this? Because I don't think you would be so quick to say that the Assyrians, especially if you read it how I'm reading it, are that brand of people. There has to be a time when the usurpers of any culture, race, or identity of people come into play. And if they are named before they were made an enemy of Israel, I have to assume that the people who usurped them, not saying that they were the initial enemies, but I'm saying that they followed on. So with that said, verse 20. And it came to pass after these things, and it was reported to Abram, saying, Behold, Malchah. Now remember, Malchah is Aran's daughter. So his brother Nahor married his niece. Mind that fact. And it was reported to Abram, saying, Behold, Malchah herself too, or also has borne sons to Nahor thy brother, Uz, the firstborn, and Boaz his brother, and Kemuel, the father of the Syrians. What? Let me repeat that again. And Kemuel, the father of the Syrians. And Kazad, and Azal, and Phaldes, and Jodaph, and Bathuel begot Rebekah. And they're just bringing that up so that way we know through who Isaac got with. So these are all Shemitic people. That's all I'm saying. The Syrians were Shemitic. The Assyrians were a Hamido-Shemitic people. All I'm saying, bro. You might not even watch this whole video. I'm not abashed by it. I just won't be putting anything in the comment section because I can't rock like that, bro. You feel me? If I disagree with it, I disagree with it. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to show you what I agree with. But, like, as far as you trying to say whatever, you jumped so far into the Bible that you forgot all about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my point about this Genesis thing. And to also crush the rebellion within you right now, let's go back to the Tower of Confusion. And you always talking about how the Most High works in decency and order. Explain to me, sir, please, what decency and order would have been if the people all spoke the separate languages, then they all speak one. Then the Most High is like, no, I want you to speak different languages again. That makes sense to you? That makes logical sense to you? The short period of time, you're telling me that in a tiny capsule of time, these people, because in 3 generations we read, in 3 generations from the sons of Shem, Elam, one moment, the sons of Aram, Uz, whatever, one moment. Arphaxad begot Canaan. Arphaxad is one of Sem's firstborns. Canaan begot Selah. So this is his great-grandson. Selah begot Eber, his great-great-grandson. 4 generations removed from this man. The earth is splitting up. 4 generations. You're telling me in 4 generations, bro, that these people not only created all the different languages for every different race that's mentioned, from the Hamitic people to the Gentiles that are associated or incorporated with Japhet, but you're telling me right now that even the sons of Shem, all these men had their own languages before the tower. In just 4 generations, they all had their own languages. Mind the fact that Noah's their father. I'm not saying Noah only spoke one language, but whatever language he primarily spoke is the language he taught those children, which would give rise to everybody speaking the same language, which would give rise to all the earth was one lip and there was one language to all. However, we'll go with you and my brother Steven's perception of they all spoke different languages and then they all spoke the same, started to look the same, and then they got spread up, as opposed to they all kind of looked the same. They all spoke the same language, which is why this was able to happen before, and then only after it happened, because you have to read and understand that Nimrod, or Nimrod, whatever you want to call him, is a grandson of Kam. And no point when it's mentioning the Tower of Confusion, or even if it mentions Nimrod City, does it mention the tower? Not once. Neither one of those, in either passage, neither one of those things is mentioned to actually correlate and tie together the story. The only thing that correlates the story is the land of Shinar. That's it. That's it. Nothing else. But that's besides the point. I did this for you, brother, because I love you very much, and I didn't want you to think that I'm just like against you. I'm just like, no, there's just no way. There's no logical way, brother. None. Now, if you want to send me a video back or an audio piece explaining it all, but I just broke it down. So you got to break it down for me too. And it can't just be what you believe. It has to be written within the perception of the word. Thank you very much. But I'll talk to you later, Scribe.